Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the 2023 postseason. The Zephyrs are in it. If you haven't seen any other episodes in this series, there's a link in the description for the YouTube video where you can go back and catch up on the first 9 episodes. But just a really quick recap in half a minute for anybody who's not familiar with this out-of-the-park baseball sim. The San Juan Zephyrs were a team that was established in a fictional baseball league one level below Major League Baseball. And each year, the 4 best teams from there are promoted to Major League Baseball, and the 2 worst teams from the AL and the NL and Major League Baseball are relegated down to this league. So in 2020, the San Juan Zephyrs won everything and were promoted to Major League Baseball. And that's when I took over running the team. And we did not remain in Major League Baseball. All 4 teams that had been promoted were relegated right back to the Premier Baseball League the next year. And then that next season, we won that league again. So we've now won that league 2 times. And we were promoted back to Major League Baseball. And then this season, we became not only the first team ever to be promoted from the PBL and remain in the majors, but we also became the first team from the PBL to make the Major League Baseball playoffs. So that's what we're about to do. We're going to sim the 3-game series that we have against the St. Louis Cardinals. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do that down below. In the description, you'll also find a link to a tutorial I did on how you can set up your own sim in out-of-the-park baseball with promotion and relegation. I'm really enjoying it. I think it adds a whole nother just fold to everything. You know, you can't tank too much going for draft picks or a rebuild, or you end up down a league. So let's get this thing going. All right, here we go. So game 1 will be against Alex Reyes. It's best of 3. Then we face DeGrom in game 2, and then Flaherty in game 3. So we have our work cut out for us. So we're facing 3 right-handers. Both the NL and the AL in this sim use the DH. So the lineup you see there should be the lineup for at least game 1 and maybe all 3 games, because that is the Zephyrs lineup against right-handers. I will have this set up so that I won't be managing things. I do have pitch limits on some of the pitchers, but we're going to let our manager handle things. So there you see Bob Guerin is our current manager. We're going to let him handle everything. He's done well with this team. So let's get this thing going. Today, we play St. Louis. So we're going to play the game. The comments are open in the live stream. So if you guys want to chat there, go for it. Let's see. We can see their lineup. 2. Batting third in left field is Dylan Carlson, one of the biggest threats in their lineup. And they have a really good team. So not only are we going to face some good pitchers, but they have a really good lineup. So we have our work cut out for us, like I was saying. And I think we're ready to go. I'm going to leave it so that Bob Guerin does everything, even substitutions. I have pitch limits in place for everybody. And so I'm just going to let him do it rather than worry about jumping in and controlling anything. And I think everything looks good here. I'm just double checking the lineup to make sure that it's the way it should be. Looks like everybody in my starting lineup has some experience against Reyes. And we're going with Luis Castillo, who was an international free agent signing for us a couple of years ago, and he had a really good season. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do as our #1 playoff starter. And I think we're going to start the game at 70 degrees, 34,492 in attendance here in San Juan. So the way it works in this 3-game opening round is that the team with the worst record of the two hosts the first game, and then you go for 2 consecutive games at the higher seeds stadium. All right, let's get this thing going here. Wind blowing in 7 miles per hour. Man, 70 degrees for some postseason baseball on an island. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, so their leadoff hitter goes down on strikes. And here's Conforto, who's batting second for them. And he's going to strike out. I like this start, Castillo. Let's keep this up. Is anybody going to get to that? I think that's going to be an out. Yep, we're good. Okay, here's our leadoff hitter, Rosario, who spent some time up with the team this year, and then he was injured, and he spent a little bit of time in the minors when he wasn't really performing. We had sent him down, and then at some point, I think he was back up. He got hurt, and then he was down there on a rehab assignment. Nice. Leadoff walk. I like it. I like it. This is a good way to start. Adrian's is up next. Oh, he goes down, swinging. And here's Miguel Sano. Oh, and he's down on strikes, but Rosario advances to second there. Here's Gio Urshela, one of our trade deadline acquisitions. And he makes the third out of the inning with a shallow pop out to third base. There's another strikeout. So 3 of the 4 batters that Castillo has faced so far have struck out. All right, here's another guy who's a big threat with the bat. Let's see. And he's going to get just a single. All right, that's fine. 1 out, 1 aboard. And that's drilled. All right, there's a 2-run homer. So St. Louis is out to a 2-0 lead here in the second. And Torque has that one for the out. Thanks for stopping by the game, Kenneth. I see your comment there. Yeah, took a little while to get this one on the schedule, but the good news is if things go as planned here, we're going to get the full 3-game series in right now. So glad you're able to join us live. All right, now here's the leadoff hitter for the Zephyrs. Strikeout number 3 for Reyes. So each starting pitcher has 3 strikeouts. We're only in the second inning. There's out number 2 as Margot grounds out to second. All right, here's Torque. One of our best hitters against right-handers. This might be an infield single. Did he bobble that? Nope. That's it. 3 up, 3 down. And we head to the top of the third. There's a leadoff walk. I don't like to see that. And another strikeout for Castillo. Runner's going, and it gets away on the throw to second. So now we've got a run on third with one out. Conforto's at the plate. They've got Carlson on deck. And he strikes out Conforto. That's big. But now we have probably our toughest out in the lineup to face right now in Dylan Carlson. Oh, come on. Get him. It's an infield single to bring in the run. So now we've got a 3-0 Cardinals lead. And there's another strikeout. The 5th on the day for Castillo. All right, here's Will Banfield, who ended up being, he kind of emerged. He was a Rule 5 pick, and he's going to single here into right field. He was a Rule 5 pick for us just before this season and came into the season as the backup catcher. And then he ended up taking over for Austin Hedges. He was really hitting well and playing some pretty well defensively too. And Hedges is really good defensively and it still has a slight edge there, but especially with the bat, that ended up causing Bob Guerin to start Banfield instead of Hedges most of the season. All right, so with 2 outs, nobody on, we're back to the leadoff hitter, Rosario. He's fast, so he's going to, there's no throw. Infield hit. All right, man on, 2 outs. Adrians is at the plate. And looks like we have another infield hit. So we got a little something going here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third, trailing 3-0. And this would be a fantastic time for our power hitter batting in the 3 spot, Sano, to come through big for us. Let's do it. And he's going to strike out looking. That's going to drop in there for a leadoff single. So here's Edwin Rios with man on first, nobody out, top of the 4th. And he strikes out. It's now 8 strikeouts for Castillo, and we're in the 4th inning. I was thinking that might be a double play ball, but it looks like we're going to have a single, and the runner from first advances all the way to third. I was thinking Iglesias might get to that one. There's another hit. That's going to bring in a run. So now we've got 4 on the board. So despite the fact that he struck out 8 batters here in 3 1/3 innings, Castillo has been dinged for 4 runs now. There's a little one hit out right in front of the catcher and safe at first. So now we have bases loaded with 1 out. It's a fly ball in the infield. That'll be out number 2. And here's Conforto. Bases still loaded. And he singles. That's going to bring in at least 1. We might have a play at the plate here on the next one, and he's out by a mile. So they take a 5-0 lead, but then make the last out, trying to score 1 more run. So here's Urshela, bottom of the 4th. We trail 5-0, and we have a lot of work to do. Ground ball to third as the first out of the inning. Is that going to drop in? No, that's probably an out. All right, so we've got 2 down. And here's Margot at the plate with 2 outs. And there is out number 3. So we go down in order. and we head to the top of the 5th. And Castillo's now out of the game. Hoffman, who was our 4th or 5th, I guess our 5th starter for the second half of the season after we acquired him, he is now on to pitch with St. Louis up 5-0. So Bob Guerin decided to make a change here. And there's a strikeout. So continuing the trend of striking out a lot of Cardinals batters, even though they lead 5-0. And another strikeout. And this should be the 3rd out of the inning. So Hoffman comes in relief here in the 5th and puts him down in order. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Here's Torque, who's one of our stronger hitters this season, and we could use him right now. Out number 1 on a ground out to 3rd. And Banfield, our catcher's at the plate now. And he rips one that's going to go down toward the corner, but the way that hit the wall, I don't think he's going to... Oh, yeah, he does get a double out of it. I wasn't sure he was going to be able to do that with the way that ball bounced. Okay, so 1 out, man on second. Iglesias, who's in the game mostly for his glove, but has a decent bat. He goes down swinging. And now with 2 outs, man still at second, we've got Rosario, our leadoff hitter, at the plate. And he's going to ground out to second, and that'll do it. All right, let's see what Hoffman can do now in his 2nd inning of work in relief here. Ground ball to shortstop. Really nice play by Iglesias to knock that thing down. Was that? Oh, no, we had the shift on. Okay. Iglesias is actually playing behind second base right now. There's a fly ball to center. It gets over Margot's head. That might bring in a run. Let's see what happens. Nope. He's going to hold at 3rd. So we've got no outs now. And runners on 2nd and 3rd. That was JD Martinez who hit that one. He's the DH for the Cardinals. Looks like they're going to stick with Hoffman for now. And he strikes him out. All right, take it. So that's 1 away with McKinstry at the plate now. And he strikes out. Got him on a slider. Okay, if we can get this 3rd out here with no more runs, this is big. But I don't know about that one. Over Margot's head out there. That's going to bring in 2 with a double, and this is a 7-0 game. On the bright side, it's 70 degrees, and we're watching playoff baseball in San Juan. And that'll be the 3rd out of the inning, but not before the Cardinals get 2 more to make it 7-0, and we head to the bottom of the 6th, and we need some big rallies here. Maybe more than 1 rally. All right, and there's out number 1. Sano at the plate now. He rips one. It's going to drop in there. Probably just a single, though. All right, man aboard with 1 out. Urshela at the plate. It's a long fly ball, but playable. And that'll be the 2nd out of the inning. And fly ball to right field. That'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So still not much happening for the bats. And when we have gotten runners on base, we haven't been able to do much with them. And here's Dylan Carlson. He's 1 for 3 today. Hoffman's still in long relief. The shift was on. And it looks like Torque's going to be able to get to that one. So there's 1 out. Gorman at the plate now for the Cardinals. And I think we just drilled him. Yeah, We hit him. All right. Fly ball, center field. That should be playable. We got 2 away now. And Chalmers is coming in relief. He was in, he's been a starter for us, spent some time in AAA. Also been up pitching out of the bullpen, which is where he is for the playoffs. And he strikes him out to end the inning. It's 7th inning stretch time here. And Margot's going to lead off the bottom of the 7th for the Zephyrs, who need a lot of runs. Let's go. That one's hit pretty well, and it's going to hit off the base of the wall. He's in there with a double to start off the inning. All right, let's go. Zephyrs magic right now. Here's Torque, who's 0 for 2 today. He had 22 home runs on the season. I'd take one right now. Ground toward third, and that'll get him. So we've got 1 away. Runner stays at second. And Banfield, our catcher, is up. And he goes down swinging. And if you didn't notice, Darvish is in to pitch right now in relief for the Cardinals. So not only do they have DeGrom and Flaherty in their rotation, who we will face in games 2 and, if necessary, game 3, but now coming in relief, we have Darvish. Did he catch that or he did? Wow. All right, and that ends the inning. So we're heading to the top of the 8th, trailing 7-0 here in a tough game 1. Zephyrs have their work cut out for them. Chalmers is still in to pitch for us after coming in to get that final out in the 7th, and he'll face JD Martinez, the DH, and he strikes him out. Uh-oh. That might be 8-0. Oh, no. Our center fielder got that one on the warning track. So 2 away. McKinstry's at the plate. And this is going to be at least a single, depending on where we cut this thing off. It looks like they're going to get a double out of this one. Rosario gets that back in. So with 2 away, they have a man on second. Bob Guerin's going to stick with Chalmers here. Might as well rest the key bullpen guys right now, down 7-0. And there's another strikeout. All right, so Darvish is still on. Leadoff hitter Rosario. Top of the order here for the Zephyrs. And there's out number 1. Adrianza now at the plate, and he's 1 for 3 today. And there's a ground ball. First baseman flips to the pitcher, and we've got 2 away. And Sano's at the plate. And he's hit. So Darvish nails him, and now we have a man on first with 2 outs. And Gio Urshela's at the plate, who does not have a hit yet today. He's 0 for 3. And that's out. Line drive to first base. We're heading to the top of the 9th. Guerin sticking with Chalmers here in relief. And that's ball 4. So we got a man on to start the inning for the Cards. And here's Dylan Carlson. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI so far today. Ground ball, shortstop has it, throws to first for the first out of the inning. Conforto moves over to second on that one, brings Gorman to the plate with 1 out here in the top of the 9th. And there's another strikeout. That's Gorman's 4th strikeout of the day. And there's a 2-out walk. So now we have 1st and 2nd for the Cardinals here in the top of the 9th. They lead 7-0. Edwin Rios at the plate. And he strikes out. And that was the 3rd time Rios has struck out. I can't wait to see these strikeout totals at the end of the game. Okay, here we go. Down to our last 3 outs. And there's the 1st out of the inning. So 2 outs to go. Not a great showing with the bats for the Zephyrs in game 1. And despite striking out a ton of dudes, the pitching is giving up a few too many runs, too, for a playoff game especially. So here's Torque. We're down to our last out here in game 1. And he strikes him out. That is it. So they shut us out 7-0, and they take a 1-0 lead in this best-of-3 series. And now we jump on the plane and we head to St. Louis for game 2. So let's take a look at these highlights. I mean, not much to look at with the bats for us. Our catcher, Banfield, was the only guy who had more than 1 hit. And then, how many strikeouts do we have? So we struck out 17 guys between our 3 pitchers. Castillo struck out 8, Hoffman struck out 4, and Chalmers struck out 5. To strike out 17 guys and then to still give up 7 runs. One of those was not earned that Castillo got tagged with. I think that might have been on the error. Yeah, it was the error by the catcher where he overthrew trying to nail a guy stealing second. So, that's a lot of strikeouts. And we lost the game. We're going to move on to game 2 in this series in just a second. So I'm catching up with your comments now. Yeah, I see. Yes, this is a best-of-3 GM, Pat. I see your question there. And Stronghold, the worst regular player on the fake O's might be the best player on the Zephyrs. That's a possibility. It would definitely be if we took one of their worst players, one of their worst hitters from the lineup, and put that player in our lineup. I mean, they'd be probably top 3, top 5, but I'd say top 3. We've got a couple guys like Torque, Sano. It might be up there depending on who the player was, but they'd easily be in the top 3. So GM Pat, they had 11 hits and then 10 outs in play. So they went 11 for 21 on balls in play. Yeah, they made the most of the at-bats where they did not strike out. 17 strikeouts is just nuts. If we could have won that game, 17 strikeouts would be an amazing performance for our pitchers. We're going to get ready for the next game. Time to hop on the plane, make the flight after this game in San Juan to play in St. Louis the very next day. Here's the playoff tree so we can see what else is going on. And we'll roll we should be rolling the same lineup out there against DeGrom. He's another right-hander. And Jordan Montgomery will be a lefty. He'll be throwing for us. So we might see some changes in the Cardinals lineup. Let's see. They've moved some guys around, but it looks like everybody they have in their lineup was in the lineup last game. These are all the same guys. Nothing has changed there. So we're rolling out the same lineup as well, since we're facing a right-hander. And we have Montgomery on the mound, who was one of our strongest, if not the strongest, starting pitcher for us this season. What I don't like is the numbers versus Montgomery for the Cardinals, though. There's a lot of guys with 2-3 hits. Carlson has had a couple of home runs against him. And let's see how this goes. And you guys can keep your discussion about Torque going with his real life team, the Tigers. Yeah, he's definitely an outfielder for us. He was not that strong as an infielder when I took a look at the options on where to play him after I drafted him. Actually, I didn't draft him. He was drafted in the first season for the Zephyrs when I wasn't running the team. But then when I took over the next year, I was forced playing him in the outfield. All right, we're ready to get things going here in St. Louis against DeGrom. Unpleasant weather, rain in the forecast, wind is blowing in. All right. It's tough coming up here to this weather from the island. So Rosario's down, and that brings Adrianza to the plate. And he's safe. All right, infield hit. Let's go. Let's get something going right away here. Sano's at the plate. Nope. Did he get picked off first? He did. Not good. Okay, so here we go. Montgomery on the mound for us. 10-8 on the season. He was third in the NL in ERA. And they have a man aboard to start the inning. Okay, there's an out at first, and the runner moves to second. Here's Dylan Carlson, and that's going to get away from the catcher, and that's going to let the runner advance to third. So that was a wild pitch. And Dylan Carlson goes down on a check swing, called third strike. And that'll bring Gorman, who struck out 4 times in game number 1, to the plate. But this time, he hits one, and that's playable out there. And Torque, the left fielder, catches that one to retire the side. Time for the Zeffs to get the bats going early. But that won't do it. Urshela's down on strikes. And that's out number 2. And he strikes out for the 3rd out of the inning. So here we go to the bottom of the 2nd. Rios leads off against Montgomery. And that's lined out to Rosario in right field. Ground ball to third. He gets him. And here with 2 outs now in the bottom of the 2nd, in a 0-0 game, is Michael Conforto. And he goes down swinging to end the inning. Torque leads things off. He strikes out. So DeGrom has now struck out 5 batters here through 2 1/3 innings. That one's ripped, but right at a guy. That guy being fake Orioles superstar Dylan Carlson out there in left field for the Cardinals. I wonder if it feels weird for him to be playing for the Cardinals after all those great years with the fake O's. Okay, so that's the last out of the inning, and now we go to the bottom of the 3rd. And there's one away. Margot brings that one in. McKinstry at the plate now to face Montgomery. There's a little tapper. Pitcher's got it. Throws to first. He's safe. I'm so tired of these infield hits. Come on. There's another one. Come on, get this dude. Safe again. What is going on? So with back-to-back infield hits here now with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd, the Cardinals have runners at 1st and 2nd. There's a ground ball to 3rd. Can we get 2? Yes. Okay, cool. That makes up for those 2 infield hits. Top of the 4th now. We're back to the top of the order for the Zephyrs. Rosario's leading off. Another guy who made a name for himself with the fake Orioles. He was a Rule 5 pickup for us a couple or few seasons ago. Adrianza goes down swinging. So now with 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the 4th in a 0-0 game, we have Sano at the plate. He's going to hit one up the middle to second baseman, and he's out at first. So another 1-2-3 inning. All right, Dylan Carlson now. That's grounded to Iglesias at shortstop. If he hurries, he's got him. All right, there we go. 1 out to start the inning. And here's Nolan Gorman for St. Louis. Fly ball towards Torque out there in left field. He's got it. Now with 2 away in the bottom of the 4th, that'll bring Edwin Rios to the plate. This is a lefty-lefty matchup. We've got a few of those in the lineup for the Cardinals. And he's going to ground out to Sano at first. He takes it himself. And we've got a 1-2-3 inning by the Cardinals. So here we are now, top of the 5th. Urshela, another former fake Oriole, leading off for the Zephyrs. Okay, there we go. Ball 4, leadoff walk. Hate when it happens when we're in the field, but I like it when it happens this way. So we've got a man on to lead off the inning. And that's out of here. We have a 2-0 lead against DeGrom. A 400-foot home run. Awesome. Okay, so we've got Margot at the plate now, 2 outs. Grounded to shortstop. And there's the first out of the inning. And here's Torque at the plate. Strikes him out. So DeGrom has 8 strikeouts now through 4 2/3. That one's going to drop in there. So our catcher Banfield has a single now with 2 outs. Iglesias, our shortstop, batting in the 9th spot, comes to the plate. That gets away from the catcher, so Banfield's going to advance to second on the pass ball. Come on, Jose. Just need one of your singles. No, he's going to strike out instead. Looking, change up on the outside corner. But the Zephyrs take a 2-0 lead And we still have Montgomery on the mound and JD Martinez, the designated hitters, at the plate. Struck him out. Conforto now up to bat. Ground ball that sneaks by. Looks like we had the shift on, maybe. I'm not sure, but gets in between the shortstop and the second baseman there. Okay, this should be playable for Rosario. He's got that one, so we've got 2 away now. McKinstry, their second baseman, who bats 9th, is up, and he hits a fly ball, and Torque's got that one. So at the end of 5, the Zeffs lead 2-0. Kenneth was asking about Conforto. I think he came over as a free agent, if I remember right. And I know DeGrom did. He definitely was a free agent acquisition just this offseason coming into 2023. Okay, so 1 away. Adrian's is at the plate. And he's going to drop one in front of the center fielder for a single. So with 1 out, we got a man on first. Sano at the plate. And looks like we just stole second. That one's ripped, but right at a guy. Urshela now at the plate with 2 outs, man on second. And that's going to drop in. I don't know if it's going to get the run home or not. He's going to round third, and he's going to decide to stay right there. And our third baseman now steps to the plate. Johan had a 2-run homer. What inning was that? Was that just in the 5th inning, or was that back in the 4th? I don't know, because I don't have a scorebook here. I'm just looking at everything on my computer, but he's 1 for 2 on the day with that home run to drive in 2. And that's why we're sitting here at 2-0. And he's not going to do it again. Popped out to second base. Montgomery's still in here, bottom of the 6th. And that's a walk to start off the inning. So I don't know what Bob Guerin's plan is there down in the dugout, but I hope he's thinking about yanking our starting pitcher pretty soon. We did not really use any of our key bullpen arms in the first game. We just mostly brought in long relievers that we really don't need right now. So he has a lot of guys he can go to. So here's Dylan Carlson. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Strike 3. All right. Okay, so Kella's going to come in now. So I like this move. I was a little concerned that Guerin was going to ride Montgomery too long, like the managers tend to do sometimes in this game. Uh-oh. And here we go. He brings in the reliever, and first batter hits a home run to tie this thing up at 2. All right, so 2-2 now. Here's Edwin Rios. And that one in the gap looks like a double now. So we have a 2-run homer to tie this game, and now a double. And here's JD Martinez coming to the plate. And he strikes him out. All right, so We leave that inning tied. So they get 2, but only 2. They strand that runner at second base. Margot leads off the inning for us. Hit well, but out as Conforto brings that one in out there in right field. And here comes Torque to the plate. Struck him out. DeGrom now with 10 strikeouts. And they're going to pull him, though. All right, so Yates is in. And he strikes out the first batter he faces, and that ends the top of the 7th. So it's 7th inning stretch time here at Busch Stadium. 2-2 game. Conforto's leading off. Kella's going to stay in the game for the Zephyrs. And there's a leadoff walk. Not cool. All right, ground ball to second. This should be 2. There we go. All right, double play. I like it. And that'll bring up McKinstry with nobody on. He's going to hit one to Iglesias, who I don't know if that's an error or if it's just an infield single. Okay. And we're going to have a pitching change. Bork's going to come on. He was a trade deadline acquisition for us, which actually, at the time I wasn't sure if I needed another bullpen arm, but I'm glad I did because we had at least one injury. Kimbrel went down with an injury. He wasn't pitching that well, but still, he was a back end of the bullpen arm. And it was good that we had Bork who could step in there. So 2 outs, man on second. All right, struck him out. So excellent. We head to the top of the 8th, still tied at 2. Here's Jordan Hicks now coming in. Another fake Orioles legend. He's going to get the first hitter to ground to short, so we've got 1 away. And Rosario's going to drop one in there for a single. With 1 out, we've got a man on for the Zephyrs. With the heart of the order coming up. Strikes out the first batter. Did they just throw Rosario out at second? Yes. Okay, so a strikeout and then a guy thrown out, stealing second when we had our number 3 hitter coming up. Okay, so Edwin Diaz is on to pitch now. He is our closer and also is used as a stopper at times. And I don't know what Guerin's plan here is. Maybe to have him pitch more than an inning. His first ball is hit to Torque out in left, and we have 1 away. Here's Dylan Carlson. There's a grounder to the pitcher, and that's out number 2. So Diaz didn't pitch in game 1, so he should be good for the 9th as well. And there's strike 3, so he makes quick work of the Cards. And we're headed to the top of the 9th, and it would be nice to put something on the board here against Jordan Hicks so that we can just close this thing out in the bottom of the 9th. So Sano strikes out, and we have Urshela coming up. And he strikes out too. Camargo, our third baseman. I think that's how you pronounce his name, but who knows? He's Johan to me, but he strikes out. Okay, so we're still tied, and our stopper, Diaz, is going to stay in the game here in the 9th. That one's hit hard. Can Torque get this thing? That is a line drive, walk-off home run to not only win the game, but that wins the series for the Cards and ends the Zephyrs season. The Cinderella story is over. And wow, that happened fast. It didn't even look like that ball was going to leave the yard. Walk-off home run for Edwin Rios to end this thing. Let's take a look at the stats, and then that'll be the end of the stream here in a couple minutes, but we'll move on to the offseason, which I'm pretty excited about because we have a lot of young players coming up and quite a few guys who right now won't be back. Sano, Urshela, Adrianza, Camargo, they're all free agents. So that's right now in this lineup, our second baseman, our first baseman, our designated hitter, and our third baseman that are batting 2, 3, 4, and 5 in this game. None of them are right now under contract for next season. So have some decisions to make, and some other guys who can step in to those roles. I just have to make some decisions about where to spend some money on free agents or on some of these guys, and then where to plug in some of the young players that are coming up. So I want to take a look at the strikeouts in this game too. Yeah, we had 10 Ks for DeGrom, and in total, St. Louis struck out 15. They tried to give us a run for our money there on the 17 strikeouts by Zephyrs pitchers in game one, but they didn't quite get there, but they did win the series on a walk-off home run, 3-2 win. And I was hoping we might take them to 3 games. It was looking good there when we were up 2-0. And then even when it was tied, I just feel like our bullpen is pretty good and that we might be able to eke out a run somewhere. And instead, a walk-off home run, and they sweep us. And the Zephyrs fans go home disappointed. So thanks for tuning in, or if you're catching this on the replay, stay tuned. The next thing I post will be some sort of an update before the beginning of the 2024 season. So I will have some decisions to make about free agency. We have probably expansion coming to the league. I'd like to get 16 teams in each league instead of 15 to even things out with the schedule. And I might also add a 16th team to the PBL. It's to be determined. But, the good news is that while we were eliminated from the playoffs, we're still in the majors next season. So we did not get relegated. And I look forward to seeing what we can do in our second consecutive season up in the majors. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't hit subscribe yet in the channel, please do that down below. And I will see you guys next time. Go Zephyrs.